Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In this video today we're checking out Swedish police versus American police. So I recently did a reaction about Finnish police and what police are like in Finland. So I thought I'd check out this video about Sweden. So let's get right into it for today. Let's go.
Hey guys, what's going on? Andrew coming at you. I'm excited for this next one. I'm going to be talking about the differences between Swedish police and American police. Before I even begin, I think being a police officer has to be one of the most difficult jobs because
I agree, yeah.
You have to deal with people being disrespectful to them. Maybe most people aren't happy to see them. And you got to be brave on top of all that. So for all the brave men and women out there that do serve, whether you're in the United States or Sweden, I do want to thank you starting off. I'm going to have to talk about some things and be critical of some things, but I just want to point out overall, I think that most police do a fantastic job.
I 100% agree. I said this in the last video. Most police officers are really good. Like, they're risking their lives to maintain like order and make sure everything goes smoothly. They have the toughest job. They have to deal with people being rude to them, people committing murders, crimes, one of the hardest jobs. But there's obviously a few ones who need to be called out, but a majority of them are good. I definitely agree with that statement.
All that out of the way though, let's go into it. We're going to first start with the differences. So the main differences I see starting out is that in America you have so many different types of police forces, and in Sweden you just have the Swedish police. Now I'm sure there's different police stations, you could work at different Swedish places, but it's not like there's a Linköping City or Stockholm City police like on the vehicle. No, everything is kind of together. There's a chief in different cities and stuff like that, but it seems to be a lot more like centralized, I guess, and controlled, and everybody's doing things, I believe, mostly the same way. Whereas like in the United States system, just to give example, I'd have a cop in my town where I'm from, Canonsburg. We had city cops. Pittsburgh, you had state cops, which were the Pennsylvania state cops. So you have all these cops that are getting tax money from different types of places that have many different people making decisions on what their kind of things they're going to buy and things like that, what kind of weapons or equipment they're going to have. And then on top of that, in the United States, you also have like federal police. So you got the FBI and you have like the DEA. So you have cops that have jurisdiction within the whole United States. So it's a lot more kind of, I guess, complicated of a system as far as policemen and who's in charge and things like that than it is in Sweden. It seems to be a lot more just put together in that sense.
Yeah, it seems like Sweden has the same type of idea as the UK. The UK doesn't have all these different divisions like I know America does. And he's also right, because I've heard like someone could be wanted in one state and they can live like a normal life in another state. That's just so weird. That's like, I don't get that.
Another fundamental difference I noticed, and I've been in Sweden for 6 years, so it could change in the United States, but there's a lot more female police officers in Sweden. It's a lot more mixed, which I think is a positive thing. And that means that every police officer in Sweden is huge. At least I think so. Like, they all look like, everybody I've ever met that's like a Swedish police officer looks like somebody you don't want to mess with. It seems to be very prestigious to become a police officer. It's very, very difficult to do. They have to be in great shape and things like that. And on top of that, it's very, very well respected.
Yeah, and that's the problem. I think that's something we're missing in the United Kingdom, is that the police don't really have the best reputation over here. And they definitely don't have a great relationship with their communities. Yeah, the police over here definitely do not have that. Hey, look at him. He's hitting those moves.
Same in like the United States in a sense. But, you know, I've seen a lot of cops that are kind of out of shape. But there isn't as much female police officers that I've seen in the United States. I think it's getting better, but not as much. I think that it's hard to be a police officer in the United States, and I think it's grueling. Unfortunately, I don't think that the police in the United States have as good of a reputation as Swedish police officers overall, and that's another difference that we have. That being said, I think one fundamental reason why is because I believe that Swedish police officers do a much better job at de-escalating a situation and not bringing it to a dangerous level.
Wait, they're on vacation to New York and they stopped a crime. What? Even when they're not on the job, they're still protecting the streets.
As you can see, the Swedish police are in the United States and they have no problems taking a non-lethal means to safely subdue somebody and not escalate it any further, staying calm, not reacting. And I think sometimes in the American system, cops aren't as well trained.
Get your hands up now!
Veteran officers Ken LaRude and Gordy Bush are responding to a burglary.
I just want to go. I just want to leave.
It's all part of a de-escalation drill designed to help cops figure out an alternative to deadly force.
Why didn't you tase him?
He's not trying to harm anybody. He's just trying to get away.
Perfect. We use appropriate level 4.
Not all cops, but again, it could go back to the whole not being central thing. But American police don't always do the best job of de-escalating a situation. I've seen many types of situations where someone's clearly mentally not well or arguing with the cop, and you think back and say, it's easy to be an armchair quarterback, by the way. It's very easy for me to sit here, and I understand that because my life's not on the line. I think that's important to say. But you can kind of look at some issues and say, wow, they didn't need to take it to that.
I'm going to defend the American police here. You feel free to correct me in the comments. Like, I'm not really educated on the topic. But I do feel like America, they also have to worry about average citizens having guns. So you do kind of need to be a bit more... I don't really know how to describe. You need to be a bit more careful.
Level. They could have maybe backed off a little bit.
But
So
yeah,
that's
you
another
need
fundamental
to
difference
you
that
need
I've
to
seen.
have better
This is a huge fundamental
de-escalation
difference.
skills.
Like, I got pulled over once in the States because I was going too fast. It was totally by accident. It's like, and I was going maybe 10 miles over this, 15 miles over the speed limit or something like that. I guess 20, 22 kilometers, something around there. And
The way
when
it just
cop
went
pulled
up
me
and
over,
up.
I went, oh, I pulled off to the road and like I did everything right, had my insurance and everything, was very respectful to the cop. And I was like, oh, I made a mistake. I'm really sorry. It's the truth. And the cop gave me a warning. He didn't give me a ticket where I had to pay money, which was awesome because I was a broke college student at the time. And that's the difference in Sweden. Like, they like will do the checks. They do these checks for speed checks once a year. They don't even pull you over. They're like, one person's got like the gun. They like flag you off, and they just give you a ticket. There's no talking to, as far as I know, there's no talking to like a police officer, and they're gonna like just give you a warning and stuff like that. It's very black and white here in Sweden. You broke the law. Boom, here's your ticket, or here's your consequence. Where in the American system, it seems like you can kind of talk to police officers. That can go good or bad, as we've seen in videos, but like cops can also very nicely give you a warning or give you a ticket, especially if they don't think that you can afford the ticket or things like that, if you're polite. So a lot of times, interactions police, if it's positive both ways in the United States, it can find a solution. Unfortunately, as we've seen a lot of...
So I do think it can be good, but I do think a black and white... Because then it's just the same for everybody. That's the law. You do it rather than a case by case basis. Whereas if you are broke, you can be doing them a favor, but it's better if there's just one law because then you just don't have anyone really making any mistakes. Because you might let someone off and then they might cause an accident. They might cause a bigger crash or something like that. So I feel just enforcing the law is probably the best way.
Videos, if people are negative to each other, it can go another way. I also think that Swedish police do a better job of non-lethal means. In the United States, we use the taser a lot. I don't see the taser used so much in Sweden, but in the United States, I mean, sometimes I think the taser can be overly used when there's other means of non-lethal takedowns as well that are used. So it fundamentally comes down to this, guys, and I don't think people like hearing this. I think part of the reason that we're not so good with non-lethal takedowns and the cops aren't trained that way is in the United States, everybody can potentially have a gun.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier.
The way our society is built by having guns, the elephant in the room is every time a policeman is interacting with someone during a pullover, that person could have a gun ready to shoot them. And you don't have that same kind of danger if you're a policeman in Sweden. It exists, people have guns and stuff, but it's much more rare. And I don't think we can deny the fact that cops are going to feel that way when they're interacting with people just simply because there's more guns. It's a real possibility that we have to accept. So that's one thing I got to say, because policemen do make mistakes in the United States, and we can sit back and judge it, but we have to remember that someone's reaching in their bag. I've seen it. Someone's reaching in their bag for their wallet, then they get shot. It's horrible. It should not happen.
That is scary. Yeah, you never know.
I think it's a consequence of us allowing people to have firearms, especially concealed weapons. Another thing I want to mention is my experience, because I think this is important as well. So, and when I was in college, I went to Indiana University of Pennsylvania. I'm driving a car, having a good old time, and I got pulled over the week before for like a taillight on my car. I just had an old car, so I didn't realize it was out, so it wasn't like a ticket. I just got a warning that my light was out. I had no idea. So I got pulled over again by this cop, and everybody in the town knew who this cop was. I'm not going to say his name, but he pulled me over. I was not breaking the law. I actually found out later that he pulled me over illegally. The reason he said he pulled me over was a lie. And he pulled me over, got me out of the vehicle. That was kind of scary because once I was out of the car, I'm like, why am I out of the car? He was very rude and mean to me, lied about why he pulled me over, wanted to search my vehicle, and when I refused to let him search my vehicle, because in the United States, you don't have to allow people to search your car. You can just say, and that's the thing, I didn't trust this guy. I don't want this guy in my car or doing anything. I heard so many stories about this guy. But anyways, when I refused to do that, he lied and said he smelled alcohol in my breath, which was not true, and then he breathalyzed me, and of course I passed the breathalyzer test. Another police officer came up, and I'm looking at this guy, and I'm a college kid. I was on my way to learn how to play the saxophone because I'm studying to be a music teacher at university, and I'm looking at this guy who's maybe 24, 25 at the time, trying to ruin my life simply because I knew the law. Simply because I knew.
Yeah, you always got to worry about. You always got to be careful of those cops who have like a power trip and want to take it out on the people.
My rights.
The worst type of
I
cops.
was just like, no, you can't do that. No, am I free to leave? Like, I wasn't being rude or mean. I was just simply like knowing my rights in the Constitution and like doing everything by the book, and not letting him bully me just because that's what he was. He was a bully. I was, standing up for myself but not being mean. And I'm watching this guy try to ruin your life. And realizing that he had done it, how many people had he already done this to? And I heard stories about this guy. Well, luckily, the cop did get busted later on, a couple years later, for doing a lot of illegal stuff and some shady stuff. So, karma wins in the end. But for a long time, about a year or two, until I had that other interaction where I told you the cop gave me he gave me the no ticket. It was a really nice interaction. I had an irrational fear of the police because it was such a traumatic experience that I had some trouble with panic attacks a couple weeks later.
Oh, that's really
when I
bad.
would see a cop and I was so afraid to interact with cops. This guy gave me such a negative view of the police, and I think we have to. That's why I think the problem is when a police officer does something wrong. The problem has been in the United States that. And before, we protect this person because we protect the police. But you shouldn't do that because we need to get people like that out of the police force.
Yeah, they should not be above the law. The law applies to everybody.
Then it brings the trust back. So, unfortunately, I had that bad incident. But, I overall think police are fantastic, and I have great interactions with the police, and I say hi to the police when I see them. But those few bad apples that we have in the United States, because think about it I'm supposed to be, privileged or whatever. I'm supposed to be, I'm a 32-year-old white male in the United States. So, and I had that reaction in college. So, what do other people go through? It makes me think about it. So, and if I was a police officer and I'm a great police officer, I would be mad at these people that do that, that make it a bad name for everyone else. So, I'm exhausted now. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. If you're new to the channel, I would love to have you subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Hey do.
Okay, so that video is by Andrew Austin. Obviously, make sure you guys go subscribe to the channel. A very great video about the differences between the Swedish police and the American police. It definitely comes down to training a lot of the times, de-escalation tactics, because America, they definitely kind of resort to kind of using tasers. They don't really have good de-escalation methods, but it seems like they're working on it, which is good, because there's definitely a lot of great police officers out there who are risking their lives, protecting the cities, protecting the communities on a day-to-day basis. But then you have a few ones like the one he described at the end that, obviously having power trips, trying to use their power to bully people, which is something we don't need. We don't need people like that. But yeah, it's just very interesting comparison about the different divisions as well in America. Sweden seems to be like the United Kingdom, where they're just the police and they kind of deal with everything. Obviously, you probably got SWAT and stuff like that, like we kind of do. But yeah, just a very interesting video about kind of the police and about how they behave. Like, I was kind of interested about that video where the Swedish police officers actually go to New York and they take it on themselves. They're just in their casual clothes, of course. They're probably on holiday or something to kind of solve a crime that's going on. Some guy is kind of acting a bit disorderly and they kind of take it into their own hands to fix the problems. That's really cool to see. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about the Swedish police. I did a video about the Finnish police and it said 91% of the public have trust and faith in the police, which is definitely a surprising statistic. In the United Kingdom, I don't think it's that high. And in America, it's definitely not that high. So I'll see you guys next video. Have a great day, everyone.